right. Here we go. Now, I've been told, got to keep this short. Aaron's got people coming in. Got to keep this a short episode. So I even did the short gong sound there. Okay, so I want you to respect that.
Short.
So I'm just going to point out when I don't go long. Okay, that's going to help us stay on track. We're going to do a short episode. Okay, multiple complaints from multiple people in the Zoom meeting. I would say, in fact, 75% of the people complained about the length.
I've been getting a lot of complaints about that I haven't been going very long recently.
Complaints about the length.
Complaints about the length, duration, and distance.
Rob, did you have a cupping treatment? A cupping treatment?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow.
I woke up today. I texted my masseuse person, and she's like, "Can you be here in 45 minutes?" And I was like, "Yes, I can. I'll be right there."
Oh, wow.
And then she took the cups, and when she was done, she just put them in a Tupperware bin. And I was like, there's no way those are getting clean. There's just 0% chance. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? Like, I just knew it. I was kind of like, ugh. But I've never heard of anybody catching back lice, so I think I'll be fine. In 2020, 4 friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music.
To call them back crabs.
Excoriated the order and led us to make this podcast. We are far from experts,
crabs,
and we promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please, I'm powering through. We got to get done, guys. Come on. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 157, and from 1995, we've got Oasis with
1995
parentheses. What's the story? Close parentheses. Morning Glory. All right.
Appreciate the grammatical accuracy.
Hey, Aaron, I'm actually trying to get through this episode pretty fast. So let's just get right into it. We're not even going to mess around. Let's get right into our intro. Okay. Everybody's got to wake up tomorrow. Everybody, no wasted time. Okay. There's no fun zone.
No fun zone.
Fun, sir.
Speaking of no fun zone, let's listen to the parody song that
the last time I was in a no fun zone was in college at Coach K's basketball class where we played defense, and he didn't let us have fun in that class. The no fun zone.
Yeah. No fun zone.
Seriously, how much can one guy talk about that he once coached with Clem Haskins in the Gopher team? How many times can the guy bring it up?
Every week.
That's weird because my dad wrote papers for a lot of those guys. He's like Vashawn Leonard. I was his tutor. All right.
You know that he's still the coach at St. Olaf? We were there 20 years ago, and I thought he was about ready to retire. He's still the coach.
Wow.
I mean, what's the expectations are low, right? Just like,
what are you going to do?
Get your kids arrested.
Matt, listen, I hate to do this. I got to make a sting for asking you to do this. I don't want to waste time by doing this myself. Can you just look up St. Olaf's basketball record for like the last 20 years? I'm just curious.
No, they've actually, you know what? They won a couple years ago. They've actually been good, but I'll look it up while you,
all right.
While we listen to K-Rob.
All right.
We'll come back.
Sounds good. Let's get into K-Rob. Now, guys.
Under 12 and a half dunks in the history of St. Olaf basketball. 12 and a half. Under.
I saw Devin George throw it down. Does that count?
No, it doesn't count.
But for St. Olaf, though.
Oh, for St. Olaf? I'm gonna say under for sure.
The only thing a basketball player at St. Olaf has ever dunked is when he dunked Dave's credit card over and over and never paid him back.
Don't borrow that guy anymore.
I thought you said drunk when he peed in that kid's room down on when I was in Thorson. That Saturday night he came in. He's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. Peeing on the bottom bunk like it's a trough. All right, guys, I got big news for you. This week we went to KRBBC. We went across the pond. Let's see what's going on across the pond at my at the sister station.
What's up, mate? Welcome to K-Rob London style. That's right, we've got K-Rob now in the heart of Bedfordshire town. Now put down your figgy pudding and listen up. What if your boss was your mate? And what if your mate was your boss? Ooh, that's a good one, British Rob. Oh yeah.
Pop on a shirt and you go to work and you realize Aaron is your boss. All you would really have to do is say that you love oyster sauce. I can't imagine having Aaron be in charge of me somehow. I obsessed about this idea all day, just thinking about Aaron as my boss. On teams you talk dandelion greens or how you really hate gout. You dig talking about figs when your Zoom meeting's about to start. Your reports better be done correctly and on Aaron's desk within the hour. Then he says team building is important. So he flies all the way up to Portland. He buys a bunch of books, and I guess boxing is what he is into now. But Aaron, when we group meditate, he's staring. But he bought all my alcohol, so I'll catch him on this trust fall. When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time.
Aaron got kind of messed with your boss today, Rob. He came in and yelled at you, don't let this episode go wrong.
Yeah.
If you want to hear from guys,
Better stay on target tonight, Rob. Rob, unfortunately, we're going to have to mark you below plan for this episode.
Did it better.
So you're only going to get a 3.1% raise instead of 3.2 if you had busted your ass.
I'm so happy that I don't know what that means. Listen, okay, I will say I had a rhyme in that song with "talk on slack" and "pickleback," but I didn't. I didn't go for that one. Not enough other rhymes. Listen, what's up? I've got four. I don't know what's up. I've got four guys here who are definitely not trying to pretend to be the Beatles. Okay, and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight. This is Beck Did It Better. We are talking about Oasis at 157, and I've got Matt in. Where are you, Matt?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Matt's in North Dakota. I was like, the camera angle's weird.
I'm doing well, Rob. I just wanted to listen to all the listeners. Please don't put your life in the hands of a rock and roll podcast. Don't do it.
You know what? You could do it with us, though. We'll take good care of you. I've got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing?
Rob, there are many things that I'd like to say to you, but I don't know how. But maybe our friendship is going to be the thing that saves me. Because after all, compared to you, I am super tall.
Oh, my God. Wow. You know what? I haven't thought about that in days, and now I'm bummed again.
Reminder.
Jeez, Louise, that's terrible. I've got out in California now. Aaron earlier was a little bit lost in California until he saw a guy drop his waffle on the beach. He dropped his waffle on the beach. And then he knew for sure he was in San Diego. I get it.
Eggo waffle?
San Diego.
Lego my Eggo?
The other Eggo stuff. Eggo waffle is almost like ATM machine, right? You don't need to say. Does Eggo make it anything else?
I don't know.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Let's talk about Oasis.
Man, you are busy, aren't you? You got guests coming in. What, you've been cleaning the house today or what?
That's for one of our listeners. You guys know the
Hey, why don't we just skip all of
me?
rolling going? Aaron's got the guests
Jesus
coming
Christ,
in.
fine, Aaron. We'll go.
Super early hour of 9:30.
Rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling
No, they're on their way here right now at 9:30 p.m.
I would also like to say, we're all happy.
They're arriving this evening.
I'm happy. I'm always happier to start earlier, everybody. Just to let everybody know, I was sitting in a Zoom room for a half hour, not knowing it was the wrong room.
Agree. I understand.
Who has guests come over at 9:30 at night?
That's crazy.
They're flying from Minnesota.
Yeah, you know.
Aaron, you guys are you're so cocksure about always having people stay at your house. Make them stay at a hotel.
Oh, great. I'm going to edit this out too, I think. I think I know where this is going.
Did you check to make sure they weren't allergic to cats?
Yeah.
Well, the cats don't live in here. We can't listen. If you want to start the cat conversation right now, we can, but they don't live inside. But I got a lot of cat stories.
But they've seen you naked.
Interested.
But they have seen you naked. Just to review.
They do come in once in a while. They brought. Alice brought us a mouse inside the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
yeah, they don't live there, but they have seen me naked and they're bringing gifts. So, listen, Aaron. Doesn't matter how busy you are. Listen, I respect that you're busy. You got people come over. As somebody who lives in a small place, I get what that's like. Okay.
Respect.
And of course, the people visiting, you always want to see them equally as everybody else. It's not going to be a problem.
They'll probably show up early too when you'd really isn't it the worst when people show up early?
Can you imagine? Let's get into that voicemail. I forgot to text you guys about this one, but.
On the Beck line, 802-277-BECK.
Can I have?
That's 802-277-2325.
Can I have 5 minutes to think of my answer?
Yeah, you can. You know
just
what?
Pause for. Okay,
we can take our time. We can take our time.
Yeah, just wait a bit.
This is gonna be a hard one.
No need to rush.
So you all met each other at St. Olaf College, and what I would like you to share is what was your reasoning to pick going to St. Olaf College? You know, the second best college in the city of Northfield. Bye.
Jeez, was that
That would be my cousin who seems to be calling a lot recently. I don't know what's going on.
New child, new kid, nothing going on.
She's got time.
Bored out of her mind.
Yep.
That is kind of depressing though when you're like you went to the second best liberal arts school in a small town. Like you didn't even go to the best one in a small town. This?
Man, I shouldn't even do this, but you want to hear the more depressing story?
Yeah.
Mine's the number one most depressing story about why to go to St. Olaf, but I'll start off, which is I went to St. Olaf College because when I was 11, my children's choir drove to Minneapolis and did some concerts, and on the way we stopped in Northfield and did some choral workshops with Anton Armstrong, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Wanted to go there from that point on, wanted to be in the St. Olaf choir. I did it. I got there. I took conducting classes with Anton Armstrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never made it into the St. Olaf choir.
Oh.
Didn't make it into the St. Olaf choir.
To be fair though, Aaron, I think like you didn't make it like your sophomore year, and then I think that annoyed you, and then you're like, "Fuck it, I'm not working to be a part of this again." Is that right?
I think that's true. I tried twice, and then I was like, fuck those guys. And like, it is a regret now. I should have tried one more time.
I have to ask, because I don't know. I know nothing about this, but that choir is huge, right? And this is not a shot at you. But I knew multiple people that tried out. But like,
right? Yeah, I know.
But what is the deal? I mean, like, is there like 100 people in the choir and 600 people of the 3,000 or whatever try out?
Yeah,
or what? I mean, what is the
what
stats?
No, I don't know.
Is
What
it?
this,
Okay.
No, I mean, there's 10 people in a section. So there's 40 men and 40 women at any given time, I think, right? Because there's...
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and 81 people tried out.
And
Aaron didn't make it. That's fine.
It's fine. I drove to Missouri overnight as a way to cope.
Oh, no. Well, what I don't get is I didn't know they had a marine bio major, Aaron. I mean, you're doing choral studies. I don't.
But there has to be reasons to it, though, beyond like Aaron. Whether it's maybe does your voice not fit in a choir as well, because you were a more talented singer. We had friends that were in that choir that they all said you were a better singer than them. One was a very good friend of ours who was in the Limestones actually. And he was in the St. Olaf choir, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't work out. It didn't fit. I was singing the wrong part, or it didn't. I'm not sure exactly. I had a good relationship with Anton Armstrong. I took conducting class with him. Mm-hmm. It was all fine, but yeah, never made it into the choir.
If you would have went to Carleton, the better college in Northfield, you wouldn't have made any choir. They would have not had you in any of the music program, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
It's a better school.
I could have done something else. I could have studied philosophy or whatever.
Yeah.
What if the person coming over to visit Aaron tomorrow is Dr. Armstrong? No. Aaron's like, no, you can come at my house, sleep in the garage, old man. Get out there.
Aaron's being hard on himself, though. Like, Aaron was never part of the big choir, but Aaron put on shows as a solo artist. Like, he had hundreds of people come to recitals where he was a soloist singing amazingly on stage. So you might not have been in the choir, but I'd rather be the big fish. You were the man on stage by yourself.
Hundreds is very generous, but thank you, Russell.
I went to a senior recital. I was there. And then when he got married, I was like looking through the mail. I was like, I must have missed something. I went. I'm trying to support my friend, but I guess. And then I'm looking. I'm like, well, who was in my wedding? Who was in my wedding? Let's see. Who did I have sing? Oh, that's right. Aaron.
Like, I've got the perfect place to wear these sandals, this maroon shirt, this yellow tie. Okay. Where would I love to wear this?
We're going to have to get into this sometime. It's a weird hole in that, short period of my life where, like, I think about my early 20s. I think about, like, playing racquetball with Russell and Rob. And then, like, I think about Rob's wedding. And then somehow, Rob, I swear it's because you were gone. I swear it's because you lived in far-flung places. I was like,
I'm sure.
Rob's not going to come all this way for this wedding.
Yeah. Where the mail wasn't delivered. So far away. Now, listen.
You know what, though? I'll say this. If I remember correctly, I don't remember, Aaron, you having a super huge wedding. I don't think there was a lot of the St. Olaf crew that was invited to your wedding, if I remember right.
You're saying I was too big to come to a wedding? It wasn't super huge? It was only normal-sized people?
There's very few things I would do over in life, but one of them is if I could time travel, it would be I would recover the fumble in the state championship game in football that I just missed. I would get those Prince tickets, and I would invite Rob to my wedding. Those are the three things if I could time travel.
Not bad.
I didn't know met at St. Olaf, really, right? Matt and I connected later.
He's standing firm.
Yeah.
He's standing firm on that one. So, Aaron, and it's so funny, Aaron, because when we're in college, we think like, oh man, my whole life was geared toward getting in this choir, and now I'm just going to have to change what I always wanted. And then by the time you're 43, you're like, oh yeah, there's another life dream. Not going to happen. Oh well.
I'll just throw that out there on this wildly popular podcast, and people are going to listen to this story.
You guys know why I went to St. Olaf?
Why did you go to St. Olaf, Russell?
Actually, I visited a handful of colleges, probably like 5 or 6, where you did the visit, you did the tours and everything. And I went to St. Olaf, and I just had a really good tour. And it was the same day in 1998 that the Vikings drafted Randy Moss, a.k.a. the Super Freak. And I remember listening to it in the car ride home, and I think I was just in such a good mood because we drafted Randy Moss that I associated it with the going to touring St. Olaf. And I was pumped. And then I went there and I got there and I was like, oh, I'm the only kid in the whole auditorium wearing a baseball hat. Like maybe this wasn't the right choice.
Welcome to St. Olaf.
Matt, why'd you decide to go there?
I to this day, I still have no idea. I mean, to say that I was recruited to play baseball would be a wildly overstating. I probably got some like form letter. I think my head baseball coach went to the St. Olaf in the 60s and was like, oh, I think you'd fit in well down there, kind of a thing. And then his son was roommates with who's the guy who's the head coach there now when they played at St. Olaf, things like that. So I had no idea. I wish I would have toured 10 colleges. I think I toured 3. Gustavus, Mankato was just like a backup. And then I went to St. Olaf and I was like, well, this seems like a cool place. And they had math and econ and all that stuff. And they, kind of said, hey, you want to come play baseball? And so that was about it. And, I to this day, I probably should have gone to like a Big Ten school or something, but I don't know. I have no idea how I ended up there or why I ended up there, but ended up being a great decision.
How lucky are we that we ended up here because we all made those choices? Yeah. Rob, how did you end up at St. Olaf?
I bet Rob's milkman must have suggested it to him.
Yeah, he had gone to St. Olaf. He was in the Oli choir, so it's great. You got to try it out. I was there when the coaches came. They asked me to come down for football. Not really recruited, but I went, and when the coach was there, he goes, there's 3 women for every 1 guy at St. Olaf. And I was like, can I come back with you right now? Like, can I, is that possible? Can I get in your car? I tried to go away.
What he didn't say is,
Rob, where else would you go to play football? Was there any other options?
Carlton was big time. Oh. Then St. John's sent letters, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, then they would also just bring down, you can tell they just were looking at the programs too. Like, had no idea. Because they would also bring down the tallest guy and the fattest guy on the team, who happened to be the same guy. Did not do anything, but I always be like, all right, getting recruited, college football, place at the table. And then it's me and Fat Jimmy, and I'm like, no, Fat Jimmy's here. Anybody's here. Damn it. Hey, Rob. Hey, Little Joe. Now you thought that was Fat Jimmy, didn't you? Check your biases at the door. That was Little Joe. Fat Jimmy also had a voice like this. Hey, Rob. Oh,
Rob would come into the offensive meeting and he'd be like, Rob, tall, fat guy. And then Big Jimmy would come in and be like, he'd be taller, fatter guy. Get it? Like, remember starting tailback?
Yeah. They had me carry a football around and I fumbled it. And of course I had to recover it. And then when I looked up, I saw a math equation on the blackboard. And I solved it easily. And that's how I got into St. Olaf. Not a big deal for me. Rolling going. Aaron, how's it rolling going with you? In the speed round of Beck Did It Better.
It's going great. I have a couple of...
Oh, no, Aaron. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I got a couple... I had a callback to one of our previous topics and now I've lost it. So I was thrown off. I had a good day today. I had some car stuff going on as usual. The car had a recall on the trailer hitch, so I had to go out to Concord and take the car in for the...
Do you ever hitch anything?
This is a good day. You started this by saying I had a good day.
Yeah.
You actually respond to those things when they send you recall?
Yeah, man. It said it was going to start the house on fire, so I was like, well, I guess I better get this thing fixed.
The hitch?
Yeah, because it's got an electric hookup. I don't fucking know, but I was like, I went and did the recall.
You got home insurance? Who cares? Burn, baby, burn. Let's go. Let's do it.
So, but I do hitch stuff, Russell. That's how we put the bike rack on the car. So the bike rack goes into the hitch. So I drove out to Concord to get the car looked at.
As he's driving out, the bikes are on fire behind him. Jesus, no, it's happened. It really happened.
So as you do, you take a walk through the nice city of Concord, California, while your car's in the shop. And I walked past a porch that had an honest-to-God couch on the porch. Oh, yeah. And I thought, like, this is genius. Like, I've seen this in, like, rap videos and stuff, but I've never actually seen a couch. And there was a guy sitting on it, and I was like, man, a couch on the porch, like, that's a good move.
100% chance if you wanted to get high, go sit on that couch.
Yep.
Okay, there's a 100% chance that is happening on that couch.
Perfect, right?
And if it was really a stoner house, they probably had one of those milk crates turned upside down, and they were rolling their papers right on top of
there.
That's where the ashtray was. So.
I'll say this, Aaron. Outdoor couch, great idea. Everybody wants to do it. Great times. Why not? Reality, moist. It's a moist couch.
Yeah.
You sit on that moist couch and it's got that smell and you're like, oh, God, I cannot have a couch.
Couch is moist.
But you know what? It's going to be a little bit of work to get rid of this. No thanks. Nowadays, you're happy to drive to get a hitch fixed. Back in college, I wouldn't lift a finger to throw away something. I'd be like, no, just going to be here forever, I guess.
And then, so then I finished my walk. I found a taco truck that was parked at a gas station next to a construction site. So obviously that's where you go for lunch. The tacos came with a free can of Coke. Have you guys had a can of real Coke recently?
Sure.
No.
I'm sure I have.
That's made of drugs, right? Like I don't drink a lot of soda. Like I drank half of the soda and then that was at like 11:15 in the morning. And then at 3:00, like the come down from a real, and like, listen, like I'm not saying I'm a super healthy person. Like my body is optimized to metabolize alcohol. Like I'm like I can deal with that. But a full on real Coke, that shit is drugs. Like that was really messing me up today. Like no way.
I realize how big I am, Aaron, because I think I could drink a full Coke right before bed and be like, all right, it's time to hit the Z's. Like, let's go. It would have no effect on me whatsoever.
Oh my God. That really threw me. And then I have a couple of music thoughts today rather than food thoughts. Although I want to let you know, I got the shrimp tacos and the fish tacos. They were delicious.
Wow. Surf and surf.
Is that 2 orders or is that like you get a 3 and they tell you what, you say what you want? Or did you get 2 orders?
You could get shrimp or fish or a mix. And so I got 2 shrimp and 1 mix. That's what I chose because I really like the shrimp tacos, but I wanted to taste some of the fish.
Well, earlier you said fish. So it feels like you were kind of lying to us and you're really going earlier.
What? I said fish and shrimp.
Well, but you said fish and shrimp and then kind of now it turns out it's a mix. So I feel like you're being a little deceitful.
I will issue a Beck Did It Better apology.
All right, we better do that right now.
An apology from
I was in the waiting room.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize.
Don't talk over the apology.
Absolutely nobody.
Beck Does It Better podcast.
That's what the fuck he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Never regret having Conor McGregor on your soundboard. Never going to go back.
Does It Better
Never gonna go wrong.
podcast? Is that what that says? Beck Does It Better podcast?
That was in the past. I made that before we started.
I was in the waiting
tense.
room of the car dealership, dropping off my car.
Oh, great place to be, by the way. Super fun.
They're playing some bangers in there, I got to be honest.
Great coffee. Always have great coffee.
Playing music. Uh-oh.
I lost my train of thought. No, I can do it. I'm here. The Eric Carmen song from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack came on, right?
Come Sail Away.
Eric Carmen.
Oh, Carmen.
From
I was like, are you
Hungry
getting
Eyes.
into this? Because there is a thing now where they have Eric Cartman singing songs, and it's just the worst. And I was like,
Eric
is
Carmen.
Aaron into this now?
Hungry Eyes comes on in the waiting room of the dealership.
Now, Aaron.
And there's like 6 of us in there, right?
Did you look up, Aaron, and you saw the guy coming in? Guess what? He's got a little grease on his hands. He's taking a washcloth. He's wiping off his hands. Listen, he's just a man at a long day of work. You look up, you're getting coffee, you make eye contact, and all of a sudden you know that here at this Hyundai dealership where you're getting your hitch repaired and all the guys are making fun of you out in the workshop, you've met your one true love.
Eric Cartman, beefcake.
Hey, at least his mom, we never found his mom. Carmen's never mind.
There's
San
6 of
Diego.
us in the
San
waiting
Diego,
room.
it's coming
Every
back.
person says like, hey, wait, this is from Dirty Dancing. People from many different cultures, many walks of life. behind the counter, in front of the counter. Everyone comes together. Everyone knows this song rocks. Everyone knows where it comes from. And that was a special moment brought to me by music. And so I just want to give a shout out to Eric Carmen for brightening up my day. Have you guys had are there songs like this where like you know that if you hear this, you're going to vibe with everybody around you? Matt?
There's a ton of them, right?
Yeah.
But I had one, I was just sitting, I was 15 minutes early to pick up my boys. We're hanging out at Buddy's house, and he can't pick them up early because they're in the middle of video games. So I just sat in this parking lot and just looking at my phone and turned on some music. And the Go-Go's, Our Lips Are Sealed came on from 1981.
Oh, right.
I had no idea that what they were saying is "Our lips are sealed."
I didn't either.
I never knew that. As, you know, it makes sense when you hear it. But this is like another one of those perfect songs. This is like Madonna's, things like that. You hear songs like that where it's like, wow,
Ooh, that's a sweet bass line there too.
This one will always be good. And just listen. Did you know that they say "Our lips are sealed"? Did you guys know? Hold on.
No.
Right here.
No, I
had no idea,
Never.
but it comes up on your radio that you can see it. So, no, but I love when that happens, when all of a sudden the song comes on, you're like, God damn, that's a great song. And so that's what I had yesterday.
Oh, man, I never knew that was the name of this song. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Can I tell
Mine
you?
would be, you guys remember the song? I feel like we used to sing this all the time together in college. If this were to come on and I'd be looking around, I feel like people would all be happy. It's Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
Yeah.
Hold on for one more day.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me people aren't having fun while they're listening to this? Like, you don't have a smile on your face?
No, that comes on, you're in. You're all in right from the start.
Now, of course, this video is shown as already played on my YouTube account because we have done a great Wilson Phillips bit. One of the few bands named after two different brands of cigarettes.
When it kicks in here,
Yes.
right here.
Or a tennis ball and some vodka.
Yeah. Now, guys, I'm going to have you guess. I think I jerked into this video.
Oh,
Huh? Let's see. I mean, guys, they're on the beach. What year did this come out? What year did this come out?
it's actually, it is impressive mobility to be able to sit in hero pose like that.
Oh,
so I can see it, Rob.
If you asked me right now to sit on my, like that on a beach,
Right? Forget
I could
it.
last about 2 seconds. I'd be like, I'm done. I'm going to walk. And my song is, of course, At the Family Cabin. With this gets played about, I would say, 10 times a summer when my dad says, well, I just want to talk about me. And then he plays Toby Keith.
Yes.
I want to talk about me.
This video
Look at
is
this
wild.
music video.
What the
Which
hell?
is a song where basically, where he says basically, I like talking about you, but sometimes I just want to talk about me.
But occasionally, I want to talk about me.
By the way, this video is wild. If you want to see Toby Keith in two suit jackets and a tie.
Weird suit. Guys, I don't know. Listen, like, you might think I'm crazy for saying this, but like, there are certain angles where Toby Keith kind of looks like Barry from Burnsville. Like, there's something about
Wow. I would
his
have never thought of that. Let's pull it
smile
up
that
again.
kind of reminds me of somebody we know.
Okay, Toby Keith. Let's see.
Right?
see here.
Like, that kind of
Images.
side-eyed look.
He's kind of got the really tight beard.
When he's got that tight beard, yeah.
Yeah, well,
But something about that smile.
You know what? And they both hate pants.
Yeah.
They both hate pants.
they actually agree on a
I'm
lot of
telling
things.
you, man.
Okay, I've talked to them and they've actually agreed on a ton of stuff. It's pretty crazy.
He likes to put boot in people's asses.
Yeah.
The boot
Yep.
right in their ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know the other similarity? Neither one of them's called us and left a voicemail in the last 2 years.
Oh, that's a good point. Very good point.
I would pass on Toby Keith leaving us a voicemail. I'm good, actually. I don't really care what he thinks.
What if he
Wait,
calls
have you
to
guys
leave to put a
heard-
boot up your ass?
Have you guys heard the quote? This is apparently a real quote.
Okay.
And
You say
Ethan
it.
Hawke wrote an article about this in Rolling Stone that Chris Christopherson and Toby Keith got into a bit of an altercation
I
backstage.
saw this. I did see this.
And they kind of had a sort of, an exchange of words. And then Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson said, like, you don't even want to know what Waylon Jennings says about guys like you. And the quote, true or not, is that Waylon Jennings said that people like Toby Keith did to country music what pantyhose did to finger fucking.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Yep.
Yes. I've been waiting to discuss this on the podcast. It gets, I mean, obviously there's a little political here, but I mean.
Yeah, Toby Keith was in his big Stars and Stripes, These Colors Don't Run stuff, and Kristofferson hated it. And he told Chris Kristofferson went out there, no lefty shit. And Chris Kristofferson was an Army Ranger. And so basically he like went off on him. You're doing the music what pantyhose did to finger fucking. It's so good. Quote.
Can you imagine like.
That's a great line.
Right, and like, what kind of genius do you have to be to just think of that off the top of your head? Like, I could sit here and insult you guys all night. I could never come up with anything like that.
That explains these Amazon packages full of pantyhose that I've been getting at the apartment, though. I will say that.
All right, rolling going. How's it rolling going with Russell?
Things are going well. I thought we could maybe go into the cohabitation corner and I can get your guys' thoughts on some experiences I've had over the last week.
Oh no,
Time for
Russell, I'm so sorry.
Corner. Oh yeah.
So I've got 5 experiences over the last week. I was going to share the ups and downs of cohabitation, if I could, with you guys.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The first one is I actually the cohabitator I am cohabitating with. We'll call her a musical theater fan. And her and I actually, last Friday, we went and saw Jagged Little Pill. We saw the musical, the Alanis Morissette show. Have you guys seen the show or not?
No.
No, but my wife did, and she said it's a laugh a minute. Okay,
Yes.
hold on to your sides because you will split them.
It is definitely a story about like this regular family that is having all these problems, family issues, relationship issues, addiction, problems with sexual assault, and how we approach it as society. So it was definitely a little heavier than I was expecting it to be, but they did a really nice job with it. The music is fantastic. And, I was thinking, Jagged Little Pill was one of my top 5 albums. It was either that or Amy Winehouse for the discussion. Go and listen to that music. It is fantastic. It is so good. The music is so
great
good.
Music. Great album.
Russell, can I ask you just one question?
Yeah.
Where did you sit in the theater? Okay, where were your seats?
Do you know this or not?
No, I'm just wondering. Where were you sitting in the theater?
Look at his
No reason.
Rob's face.
No reason. Where were you sitting?
I was sitting on the aisle in the lower deck to the back third of the room.
Yeah. Yes.
Why
in the back?
Do you know why I did that though, Rob?
To get blown in the back of a theater like Dave Coulier.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
So we're sitting near the back of the theater, Rob. We are. But this time I did it strategically. Remember the last time I told you I went to the Orpheum for women, the bathroom line was so long and it was enraging to me. I was like, what are we doing? How have we not fixed this bathroom situation, right? So I decided this time we're going to sit in the aisle near the back. So when that interim or the intermission hits, we can be up and to the bathroom and in the line at the very front.
Wow.
My date doesn't have to wait 30 minutes to get to the bathroom, up and in. So I strategically pick aisle near the back of the theater. Good move?
Russell, that is
always a good move.
That is such a baller move to think of your date going to the bathroom and that's how you bought the seats. That thought would never occur to me when I bought seats. What would she think about this?
Well, let's just say the seating situation, maybe I wasn't the best person here later on. So we're sitting here. The theater's pretty full and we're sitting there. There are no people in front of us. Again, no heads in front of us. You have a direct view. You can see everything. After intermission, there were 2 ladies sitting a few seats down that moved over a seat. So one of them was now sitting in front of my musical theater fan that I'm with. And my musical theater fan all of a sudden was not happy about it.
Tough look.
Shaking her fist, angry that people were sitting in front of her, even though like they weren't our seats. Anyone could have been sitting there beforehand, right?
Yeah.
But she was not happy. Should I have offered to switch seats with her or just kept my aisle seat?
You need to offer.
That's not even a question.
You need to offer to switch seats. Russell.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the next topic.
Russell, please tell me you
offered
offered to switch seats. It's the least you could.
If you have to ask, Russell.
My God,
if you
Russell,
have
what
to
are you
ask.
It feels like
doing?
not even an offer. It's more of a like, hey, can I switch seats with you? Like it shouldn't even
Especially
be
since you're so tall, Russell. We all know you're so tall
right
now.
over
I
anybody
mean,
in front of you.
Guys,
Maybe I should
anybody
have brought this up on the pod.
Anybody can get the boost. Anybody can get the booster seats to the theater. It's not just kids, okay? It's also for some big adults can use it too. It's fine.
Well, you guys know what? It's not always me making the mistakes. I'm going to tell you this story. We'll see if it sounds familiar at all to you guys. So the other day, I was going to work and I've got a polo shirt with kind of my company logo on it, if you will. So I'm going into work and I put it on and I'm about to leave and I walk downstairs. I'm walking out and there's a kind of a mirror in the basement bathroom. So I'm kind of walking by and I look, my shirt is on inside out. I realized the musical theater fan didn't say anything to me in the morning when they saw that I was wearing an inside out shirt.
Nice.
Sounds familiar at all?
This is a polo shirt?
Yes.
How do you put a polo shirt on inside out? Like, we need to have more.
I don't know.
It's actually impressive.
Yeah. Russell, welcome to the club. Okay. She has already moved into the I don't give a shit about him phase of your relationship. That is awesome.
No way.
Okay.
So later that day, I came home and I said, hey, I got to call your bullshit on something. You sound like someone else I know that I've heard does this. And I said, hey, I came in today with an inside out shirt and you didn't say anything. And she goes, well, we were going out the other night and your fly was down. And I told you about that because we were going out together.
Nice.
And I was like, so the answer is if you're going out with me, you'll give me the heads up. If not, I'm on my own, right?
Or she's spending more time looking at your crotch than other places, which hey.
It's true.
It's my favorite. Well, you are tall, Russell. I don't know if you're that tall. No, Russell, if it's anything like the people I know, if you compare them to other people, they get really mad about it. Okay? So I don't know if I would go down that path. You got to be careful. People are their own people. All right? No matter how funny you think it is to say otherwise.
My third thing in cohabitation land this week that I had to discuss was, do you guys ever deal with your cohabitator, your spouse, kind of making a lot of racket and maybe really loud, like at odd hours, like super early in the morning? Does that ever happen or not?
No.
Or maybe like while you're doing a podcast, Rob, that happens once in a while. Clanking the dishes, that type of thing.
No, I'm not used to somebody they try to be as quiet as possible. And I try to do the same.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
I think it's respectful, especially if you're somebody who maybe works later and sleeps later. Like they should, maybe get a clue and just be quiet.
As a work later, sleeps later guy.
Wait, Russell, I'm reading what you just chatted me. They should get a clue and be quiet and just goddamn it, listen to me. Listen to Russell for once. Okay? He's not wrong about everything.
Okay, write that down. What was it?
Yeah.
Get a clue and what was the other part?
No, Russell, you texted it to me. That was you already wrote it down to text it to me.
So anyways, I'm up sleeping a few mornings ago and all of a sudden I hear this smashing downstairs. It sounds like someone's popping popcorn or something. Turns out my musical theater goer has this big 1 gallon jug of water that they bought for me a while back, but I don't want to carry around a big one like Rob has got in front of him. But my musical theater goer is one who wants to have the big 1 gallon jug. So it turns out at like 6 a.m, the musical theater goer is down there smashing ice to put into the jug. Is that too early for that type of thing or no?
Now, Russell, listen,
Yes.
we're all in agreement. It's too early for that shit. Okay? That's not the issue.
Yeah.
That is not. I'm going to tell you right now. It doesn't. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it ethical? It doesn't matter. Okay? The correct answer is, Russell, you got to shut up. You did not say anything to her about that, did you? Because you know what that is. That's an invitation to point out something wrong you did earlier. Is that what happened, Russell?
That does remind me. I'm thinking really hard about making my own ice. Like I've seen a lot of bartender videos of like dudes who make big blocks of ice and then take an ice pick and chip off their own ice. Like I kind of like this idea. Like you're making a cocktail, like and you're using the ice from the ice machine. That's not good ice. But if you make your own big old block of ice and you can pull it out and chip off some, like that's got to feel good.
You just get an ice cube tray and fill it up, Aaron. What are you talking about? Make your own ice.
I'm sure you can do that, but like,
well,
imagine,
the bigger the ice cube, the inside of that, it gets more dense. And that dense, I mean, it really pulls out that oaky flavor from that bourbon.
Takes longer
just that much better.
I cannot have an ice pick in the house. Okay, no way. See my wife walking around with that, I know I'm in big trouble.
Rob gets in bed after the podcast.
That's the number one murder weapon of people in movies I've jerked off to.
Rob's just sitting on his couch with no underwear on, like constantly crossing his legs back and forth.
Russell, the idea that you think I could cross my legs is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. I don't think I could cross my legs if you paid me $1,000.
So you know what? I'm ripping on my musical theater goer, but I have to give her an amazing amount of credit here. It was my birthday the other day.
I'm going to edit this part out, by the way. Just to let you know, I'm going to edit this part out.
Oh, and it was my birthday the other day, and the musical theater goer got me a few gifts, and they may be some of the best birthday gifts I have ever gotten. So I wanted to share them with you guys.
I completely forgot it was your birthday.
Quick, if I could.
Ah, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're doing birthday gifts. All right, Russell, let's hear the gifts.
So my first gift, as you guys know, I love records of shows I've seen. Remember when I got my Buddy Holly record because I saw Buddy Holly in person, Rob?
Yep, I remember that.
So first gift, musical theater gets me on vinyl, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill.
That's rad.
Russell, that is incredible.
Cool. Pretty cool after seeing that show in person a few days beforehand. The next one, and this is the true gem, another record.
It gets better.
The record is Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem on vinyl.
Oh, man.
Russell, that's
your
unbelievable.
absolute favorite band.
My favorite band. And to follow it up as if the vinyl wasn't enough, she also got me this Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem t-shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Russell, that is so good. Is she the only person ever to buy that combination of albums? The Alanis Morissette and Dr. Teeth.
Must be,
I have a
right?
feeling Disney saw the Dr. Teeth sale and was like, what just happened? They probably had to call somebody, make sure it wasn't a mistake. So some amazing gifts. And then the other thing I was going to share with you guys is I had another amazing find. Do you guys ever stop like at the magazine rack in like a store, like a grocery store, and they've got all these magazines?
Nope. Gonna stop you right there. Nope.
Rob, you said nope. You never do that?
Nope. Never.
What? You never stop at the magazine rack?
All I know is that my kid once picked up a Taylor Swift magazine and I said, oh, okay. And I put it in and it was like $22. I was like, what the fuck is this? A $22 magazine? I got scammed by my kids.
Well, so the other day I'm going through Lunds and Byerly's and I was walking by and this magazine jumped out to me. And at first I was thinking like, why would they have this type of magazine there? I took a picture of it. I was going to send it to all you guys. Then I decided, you know what? For $13.99, I just have to buy it.
Russ.
The magazine is called Hulk Hogan, The Unbelievable True Story.
Wow. Russell.
In the magazine that I purchased for my birthday gift, there is
go to
a section.
Go to some of the last pages. I want to see if they have one thing. Go to some of the last pages. I got to see.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Rob?
What's that?
So before we
brother.
get to the scandals, there is a page where they reference all the marketing of Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan's Potsdamania.
Wow.
No way.
America. It is in the magazine.
It's in there?
Story.
It made it?
That's good because Aaron's book
man.
turned out to be a huge cock tease that never came to
It
fruition.
never came out. It never happened. I still follow that person on Twitter. They never published the book.
So if you do get about 30 pages into Hulk Hogan, The Unbelievable True Story, you do get to the scandals section.
Scandals.
Wow.
So there's about 5 or 6 pages on the scandals with some stories about Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yes.
And how he deep-dicked his wife.
Oh, they went with the
felt bad
Hollywood
about it.
Hogan.
Her name is
photo
Heather.
there too. They really like.
You know her name?
Oh, you're on a first name basis.
I happen to be a big Bubba the Love Sponge fan while this happened. I listened to him on Sirius.
Oh, that's a real thing. There are Bubba the Love Sponge fans.
Yeah, and I currently listen to a show about shock jocks exclusively where they talk about them. So I will say, listen, if you had seen Heather Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, if he offered for you to give her a, what's a wrestling move that sounds like sex? Somebody come on.
Belly to back suplex?
Oh, yes, Russell, you nailed it.
Crossface.
Matt? Don't say
Pile driver?
What's the one?
Don't say DDT because that's what I was going to say. Hey,
I don't know.
Hey, you want to do some
I don't
DDT?
know. I can't pull any wrestling moves
okay.
out of the top of my head.
The last question I was going to ask you guys is about the magazine, actually, though. If you were to say, let's say you work late and then you come home and you have to go on a podcast shortly after, you only have a certain amount of time to spend with your musical theater goer.
Right.
Do they have a right to be upset if some of that time was spent while you were reading your Hulk Hogan birthday magazine that you purchased for yourself?
Absolutely not, Russell. You are a real American, okay? You want to read about America's greatest hero, Hulk Hogan, who has never done anything wrong, really, okay? Except for that, a couple of those scandals I would guess are really bad. You should be able to read about that if you want. That should be your right. Now, if you were pulling out like a big boss man one, I'd be like, I don't know about that. But it's Hulk Hogan.
But I think you should read it aloud to
Ooh.
the enthusiast in a romantic way. That's really the only way.
Maybe I'll wake her up early tomorrow and do
that.
Russell, do you have that in front of you? Can you read a little bit of it in a Hulk Hogan voice right now? Just pick a random page. Let's hear it. And keep in mind, we are trying to keep this short.
The choke challenge? How about that one?
I did that all the time in junior high.
At the urging of talk show host Richard Belzer, brother, Hulk Hogan placed him in a chokehold above. Belzer passed out and fell to the stage floor.
Wow.
Brother.
Oh, I just had some sushi, but
Rob, you might have to edit this out, but I gotta say that this theater enthusiast / great birthday giver sounds like the kind of person that you'd want to.
Oh, Aaron.
Like,
Aaron.
Aaron.
What did you just say, guys? What I just edited out was so sick. Aaron used the term DDT in a way I've never. Aaron used terms that I'm going to write down as search terms later tonight.
I would consider some sort of binding contract to keep this person near me for a long period of time. If it were me, that's just me. Aaron, that's the kind of thing I'd be thinking about.
And I edited out where he said foot binding.
Hey, Aaron, could you not make that physical motion of the pile driver while you were talking like that?
Aaron, that is so sick.
You know what? If I could get a magazine from anyone else and learn their unbelievable true story, I would pick Matt. Matt Rowling going, how's it going with you?
That would be a great one. Controversies.
Good. I'll try to keep it short. Camel clutch, Rob. That'll be my wrestling move. Camel clutch.
Oh, that's the winner.
Not a search term I'm going to use.
Magic Mike, this guy, he's an Instagram
hero.
He's pretty darn good, guys. He's pretty darn good. He went and saw Neil Young a couple weeks ago. He goes to all sorts of concerts, but Neil Young. But he had a great line where he said, you live in a small town when you're looking around and you see a bunch of failed Bumble dates or something like that." And I'm like, he's putting all this. That's pretty good.
Meanwhile, the Timberwolves dance team, and Russell's like, "Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
That wasn't a fail."
Oh, yes, Russell. You hit that shit, son. That's what. Wait a minute. That's what I'm talking about. That. Yes. Tell me about your dance moves. Are you dancing to that Hungry Eyes song?
Rob, I may or may not have given her the atomic leg drop.
Oh.
Coach Kaz, guys. Coach Kaz has a winning record at St. Olaf.
Career record.
Coach Kaz is 352 and 345. In the MIAC, he's 266 and 275. So he's still under 500, in the MIAC. But overall, so in 14, 15, 16, and 18, they took second place in 2017. So he had a run there, 5-year run, where 4 out of the 5 years they were second place and they won the MIAC playoff championship twice. So he's had some spurts there, but he has a winning record at St. Olaf. I would not lost
be around
a lot of money.
Get that man a serving of lutefisk.
Right.
Good for you, Coach.
Listen, I had some spurts down at that athletic center too, so I get it.
Get that man some Cook's sparkling wine.
Guys, I love pickleball.
Hey, I joined I got in with the young kids. Some attorneys from across the hall challenged our young analysts. It was 4-on-3 and they needed a fourth. So I joined September 8th. There's a park in Richfield, 12 noon, Friday, 12 noon, and the pickleball challenge is on. So I love pickleball too. It's fun. There's nowhere to play. I mean, I have nobody to play with. We can't go with the old folks.
Can I just ask this about your pickleball? How's your dink? You got a good dink?
Huh?
How's your dink? You got a good dink, Matt?
I can't hear you over the music. Sorry, no, I'm kidding. Honestly, I don't. I play with my kids, and that's about it. So against them, I'm pretty good, but I need to work on it. So that's good. That's all I got. Quick and short. How was that, Rosie? I keep it short for you.
That's
Rob,
wonderful.
rolling, going. How's it going for you?
Loved it.
Listen, all of our cohabitations love the quick and short. Can I just say this about Magic Mike too? He did send in a text to the Beck line. He said he's got somebody's got a side gig at the place that shall not be named, and all they have to do is wear a red shirt. So he sent me a picture of a red.
He owns a red Beck Did It Better shirt?
Beck Did It Better shirt.
What a hero.
He is a true hero. So folks, if you see a guy wearing a red Beck Did It Better shirt, there's a chance that's Magic Mike.
What a hero.
There's a chance.
Wow. I didn't even know those existed.
It's
wow. He must have had it custom made.
I think maybe he bought it off of our Teespring store where you can still go. I think that and a notebook might have been the two purchases. It's hard to keep track of that. It moves so fast these days with e-commerce and whatnot.
The four of us put a bunch of money into buying our first tier of friends shirts. Like second tier friends didn't get them, and this poor bastard who listens and texts all the time had to pay for his own.
Spent his own dollars.
Listen, I sent him a bunch of shirts, but it went to some hotel in Las Vegas, never to be opened. So you just don't know.
And if you're listening to this and you didn't get a shirt, that means you are second tier. I'm sorry.
Listen.
No. Jeez, I'm trying to think who I...
Oh, no. Listen, it's the part you've been trying to avoid, but we do have to make fun of Aaron. And I got to find where I've hidden that one. Let's get into it.
Do we have to?
I want to do such a thing.
It's time to make fun.
I haven't
Now,
done
Aaron,
anything
when you were in
make fun of for a
Portland,
while, have I?
when you were in Portland, who paid for that hotel?
Who paid for the hotel?
Yeah, who paid for the hotel?
My employer.
Okay. So I got to ask, where is your employer picking you up? Because you guys know I edit these podcasts. This is what listen to what I'm dealing with on the edit of this podcast. Okay. This is coming from Aaron's room.
It's very Jonte's law of
A
you.
replacements fan wouldn't want it higher.
Wow.
Hey,
You know,
Nailed it.
replacements ranking.
so Aaron,
Are you listening? Yeah.
how is there a car that clearly in your room? Like, are you down in the parking garage? Where are they keeping you? What kind of place are they putting you in?
I chose a hotel in downtown Portland where people told me I should not stay because it's not nice. It turns out downtown Portland is very nice. Like yes, there's a lot of people using drugs, but they're just doing drugs on the street, and like you walk by them and they're fine. It's very peaceful. But yeah, it did turn out to be pretty loud. There were a lot of cars rolling by on a Thursday night, more than I might have expected. And it was a little bit louder than I thought it might have been. But the ironic thing is,
yeah,
it was it was a Kimpton. It was
Aaron's like, it was so cheap by the hour.
No, I chose the most expensive option because they wouldn't let me fly business select on Southwest. That's like one of our policies. So I was like, well, if you're not going to let me fly business select, I'm going to choose the most expensive hotel room, which turned out to be the one that was next to the loud traffic, which you had to deal with in the edit, Rob.
Business select on Southwest, you get to pick your seat really first. You get to get way up there.
Yeah, right?
You get to rush
That's
in.
where I'm at.
All right, Aaron. So you were it was actually a nice hotel. How do you sleep in that when it's so loud out there? I couldn't believe how loud that car was. That was crazy.
I slept okay. It was a nice hotel. They have a free happy hour from 5 to 6 p.m. The fitness room looked like a dungeon, which I really I like that about a fitness room, except it didn't have a pull-up bar, which that's the only thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to go down and do some pull-ups, and that was it. And there was no pull-up bar, so that was it.
The one piece of equipment you could bring with you to a hotel, if you think about it.
A pull-up bar?
Yeah.
I guess you could find a travel pull-up bar. I do need a pull-up bar for my house. I don't have one yet.
Where else are you going to put your belt? All right.
Yikes.
So let's get into... Let's talk about the album.
It's time
This
for
is a music
Nobody's favorite part
podcast?
of the show. Let's talk about the album. Oh, yeah.
By the way, when I hear you traveling to Portland, I mean, all I can think of is Dame Lillard. All right, let's get... What?
It's an NBA rules joke. The referees don't call traveling in the NBA, and so Dame Lillard is the point guard. He travels all the time.
I was like, I think of Dame in Portland as well. It makes sense. It's not even funny.
Listen, this is Oasis's What's the Story, Morning Glory, second album, 1995. Basically, Oasis is two brothers, right? One writes all the songs. One has a high nasally voice. Noel Gallagher produced, and when he made this album, he really focused on having absolute giant, huge choruses.
I am curious about who's playing drums on this album. We'll get into it. I'm curious about the drums on this album.
Well, they actually had a new drummer for this album. It was there's the old guy on one song and all the new guy on all the other songs.
I think they're using a drum machine on some of it. I like the Ringo type sound, but
this is a huge song. This is a huge album for England. I always knew Oasis. It was like, they were like, this is a huge band. And I was like, then why does nobody I know in 1995, why is nobody into them? And it turns out they are a massive band in Britain. This was number one for 10 weeks on the British charts. It was on Wonderwall was up there for 30 weeks. Now listen to this. During this time, Oasis played a concert, okay, at Nebsworth. They did 2 nights. 125,000 people each night. The day the tickets went on sale, 5% of the British population applied for a ticket.
Rob, who you were in high school when this was going on. You listened to They Might Be Giants, but you didn't know anybody who listened to this album. Who were you hanging out with?
Hey, Brad, that's a fair question.
I mean, like everybody
right? Like,
I knew.
everywhere.
This was like
Really?
unbelievably huge. You know, at all of my, this is like a top 5. I probably listened to this album
Really?
more than most Pearl Jam albums. You know, in a certain time. I don't know. This is a
fun
huge
thing to
album.
I mostly hung out with Tall Jimmy. Who else was I hanging out with?
Did he have the deep voice or was he the high voice?
He had a very high voice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's when we said he was up there. We weren't talking about his height. We were talking about his vocal register. Okay. Don't be sad, Aaron. By the way, I was number 80th on the choir. Yes, nailed it. Got it there. And basically it was like this, like there are a massive band in the UK. And basically, this is a great example of what they call Brit pop, which is basically Blur, Suede, Pulp. I mean, I got a couple examples coming up here, but some of the bands don't like that term, Brit pop. It's kind of this reference to the 90s. It's alternative music, but it's more poppy. We start with Hello, which strangely starts with the opening to Wonderwall and then goes into the different song. Bizarre.
I mean, right from the start, they're doing Beatles songs, right? They're doing Beatles stuff, like, we're referencing ourselves kind of thing.
Well, and I think that's what ultimately the biggest knock on the old Brit pop thing is. Everybody thought they were just like the next generation of the Beatles, and everybody's trying to redo that. So that's at least what I've heard about the Brit pop, quote unquote, label.
I do like that sound, like the sort of deep snare sound. Like that sounds very Ringo to me. Sort of
Next up, we have Roll With It, which is one of their singles off this album. It got in a what they called the Battle of the Britpop, because this got all the way up to number 2. And number 1 was a song called Country House by Blur. I'm going to play for that for you next year.
Where's that? I don't think I like this song.
Country House. Another example of Britpop here.
Wow, these are the same guys who did song 2, right?
And I can promise you, because I'm trying to keep this episode short, that's the only Blur song you're going to hear on this episode.
Woohoo! Isn't that a Blur?
Woohoo!
Well, just to be clear, like people, if you hear that lead singer there, I mean, that's the lead. Blur turned into the Gorillaz, you know. So that guy, I forget his name, Damon Albarn or something like that.
Right, yeah.
You know, so that guy is completely underrated as a musician and what he's brought to the world. So that's why Gorillaz are phenomenal. I don't know if anybody's ever seen them live, but they're touring right now and they're not coming to Minneapolis, and that sucks.
Oh,
they're still touring?
Yeah.
Aren't they just cartoons? I thought they were just cartoons. God.
No, that's just Fozzie Bear.
Oh, that Dr. Teeth. Dr. Teeth will come before
Dr. Teeth.
Before they do. This is a Wonderwall. Of course, we know it. We love it. 4th song off the album, guys. This was up for 2 different Grammy Awards in 2000 and or in 1996.
Two nominations or wins?
Two nominations. Wow. Okay, so check us out. So if we have Oasis, listen to this. They're up for best rock performance by a duo or group or vocal. Guess who wins that?
Who?
So Much to Say by Dave Matthews Band. Okay.
What? We should have talked about Dave Matthews and the Poop this week.
But listen, you also have Stupid Girl by Garbage, 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins, 6th Avenue Heartache by the Wallflowers.
Jeez. Those are good tunes.
A killer year. And listen to this. So the next one they didn't win was Best Rock Song. Okay. They went up against Too Much by Dave Matthews. Russ, sing a little of that for us, please. You talk too much.
Too much is a rock song?
We dump our sewage too much. Stupid Girl by Garbage, 6th Avenue Heartache, of course. And then the winner is Give Me One Reason by Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman coming in again and swishing one of our artists in the Grammys.
I think of all those songs
again, another rock song?
Yeah.
I mean, even just the best, I probably shouldn't do this, but the best alternative, guys, best alternative album, Smashing Pumpkins, REM, New Adventures of Hi-Fi, Tori Amos. But guys, guess who won a Grammy at the 39th Annual Grammy Award for his album Odelay?
Oh!
Who was that?
Beck. So guys, if you're going to ask who's the best at winning Grammys, okay,
in
at the 39th Annual Grammy Award, Russell?
I'd say Beck did it better.
Oh yes,
that was. So
but you're
good.
giving
Wait till
you're giving away the punchline here, Rob. Like this album, as great as the great songs are, does not hold up to other '90s rock. It's not better than some of the stuff you mentioned in my mind.
Why do you think that? Can I ask for a little more where you're coming from? And I'm going to throw something out there. I just want to hear what you guys think of this.
Yeah.
Or Aaron, why don't you tell me why? I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh no, I think that they have a real ear for hooks. They have a great ear for melody. I don't think that the album is great top to bottom. I think there's some real filler in here. I was texting a listener about this today. I've realized I don't want violins in my rock and roll ever, so that's a problem for me. Like I noticed that on the Neil Young album we did long ago. Like, I don't want any violins in my rock and roll. It sounds like the Verve.
Aaron, why don't you just go and take a Dave Matthews dump all over Beck's dad, David Campbell, who does strings all over these rock albums. But
you hate Wildflowers.
You're going to catch me. Yes, you're going to catch me in something.
Hey, Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
Yeah. You're going to catch me. See, I know. So I should say more often than not. But I don't I don't think this is better than.
Hey, Devil Went Down to Georgia. Lick my taint. You're out.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah. I don't want my symphonies to be bittersweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye. Well, that's a fiddle. Fiddle's different than violin. I'm talking about the orchestral violins.
It is, huh?
All right, Matt. You have thoughts, though. I mean, I was just going to say, Matt, I'm sticking up for you guys. Like, this is not better than 10. We're going to hear 10 in less than a month, and it's going to fucking blow this out of the water.
Yeah, it does. This is caught, this Brit pop is caught in the middle, right? So you've got, you brought it up, let's bring up 10. Let's bring up the grunge rock that came out in the early 90s. And then let's talk about like Jacob Dylan. Let's talk about REM that happened. Like, it's like it fits right in the middle. Yeah. They have some really hard, heavy guitars. Then you got these poppy songs that kind of fill it, but it's a little bit more stadium songs than it is like Jacob. I don't know. It's like I can't define this album and where it is, in the grand spectrum of things. So, when you said like Tori Amos is in the best rock song, when I'm like, this is, I don't know. I think everybody's confused as to what the hell is going on from a labeling of these albums, and what the songs are. So why do you have to, I guess?
Is there anything harder than judging music from 1995? Because some of it just fucking rocks. It just whips, right? Like some of it just fucking whips. And it whips a llama's ass. And that's why we know about it. And that's why we think it whips. Like, I think this is a great example of like, if this was a huge record for you growing up, I bet you love this shit.
And I do enjoy it. I like this album, but when you listed like that Wallflowers album, like I might rather listen to that, or Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. I might actually rather listen to that, but I don't. Maybe that's just a gut feeling. But Russell, you started the conversation, and
I could be way off on this. I think this is a terrible car album. I was listening to this in my car speakers, and I could not differentiate the instruments. It was just kind of like a drone. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys heard that at all. Like if I were good headphones, I could. Can
I explain why that is? Matt, are you going to say something? Because I got an explanation.
No, you go first. Then I got.
So Russell, this is one of the albums pointing to when they talk about brick walling or the loudness wars of the late 90s, early 2000s. Right now, we put out our podcast. It is leveled at 14 LUFS, which is like what they use. Amazon Music is 14 LUFS. Apple Podcasts is 14 LUFS. That's a unit of loudness. Okay. This whole album is at instead of -14, it's at -6. So it's way louder, incredibly loud. And in fact, if you look at, do you guys see the wave on my thing of what it looks like? They're all maxed out. Every single one of them. Compare this with Faith. This is George Michael Faith.
Interesting.
So everything on this is loud. This entire album is loud. And if you look up one of the other albums, like Saint Anger was an album where it got so loud that it started to peak. And that's when there's so much data coming through. It gets cut off. You can't hear the note. And so this is so close to that. That's a big part of this, Russell. This is one of the pinnacle of loud albums.
I did not know that, but my ears heard something that I did not like in car speakers. I could not differentiate the music. I could hear the hooks and everything, but I couldn't hear any of the instruments.
You're totally
and I think a lot of this comes in when you don't have great sing. And I don't know if he's not a great singer or not, but I think Noel. Which one of the ones is this?
Don't they both sing? I don't know.
Noah's
one of them sang Wonderwall and one of them sang.
It's it's definitely the brother that was smashing those watermelons.
I don't think he's got the greatest voice. Like it fits for this band, right? But like if you don't have a great voice, just turn everything else up and
Make it
let
loud.
it, bleed it out.
True.
So the only thing I was going to say is, this is Wonderwall. It's such a great song. It's easy to sing to. Everybody loves it. And it's, it's turned into like this soccer anthem, right? When they sing. Yeah. And so like, Rob, I think you got a clip.
Mostly in Britain, right?
Yeah, I mean, all in Britain.
I would say
so. You go to Man City, Manchester City. So one of the Gallagher, I think they're from Manchester, but they just sing it. It is just awesome when you hear it. When you've got like actual soccer fans who like actually know the sport of soccer.
This is the thing. These are real soccer fans in England.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they really know.
They're super into it.
They are super into it.
And they're from Man City, so they're singing the song from Man City. Like there's a reason behind it. The Oasis, they're huge Man City fans, stuff like that. So yeah, so I don't know. It's really cool when you hear like actual soccer fans
so
singing
smart.
it.
That is really cool that you could be like part of something big like that. Like they're one of the best teams in the world, right?
Right.
Man City.
It'd be super fun to go to a game and be able to sing along with that tune.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonderwall, let's listen to it. This is the first song from the 90s to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify.
Oh, on Spotify. I was going to say, I'd like to think I helped with that, but it was mostly Napster in Russell's dorm room, so no.
Yes.
I mean, we've heard some other albums with great songs in like the top 4. I think Led Zeppelin 4 had like the first 4 songs were all crushers. I don't know about the first 2, but you put Wonderwall and that one that's coming after this. Like,
yeah, these 2 songs,
they're bangers.
Incredible.
Russell, can I tell you the number 2 download on Napster? BigTitty.jpg.
Still waiting for that one to complete. Still,
yeah.
It's like,
1 billion
views. Pixelated.
Pam Anderson video.mpeg.mp3.virus.
All right, we got 9 minutes before Rosie's friends get here. We got to pick it up.
Next up, Don't Look Back in Anger. Okay, well then you're not going to like what's coming up here.
All right, but I've got something to say about this one. This song is so good.
yeah,
And
yes.
my rolling going today was going to be about how for 2 days now, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm
Hold on,
getting old.
right here. Listen, what? It's just, that's such
amazing.
a great piece of songwriting.
Perfect melody, right?
Yeah.
For 2 days, I've been trying to sing along with this thing, and I don't know if I'm getting old or I'm getting sick or what. I can't do
you're
it.
getting old.
I fucking can't do it, and it's bumming me out, man. I was trying to sing along today.
Dr. Armstrong walks by and goes,
cracking.
I made the right decision.
It's bumming me out. Such a great song. I love I don't know who's singing, but I love his performance. The whole thing.
Here, let's try it right now. Let's hear it. Come on.
Oh, no. I'm going to wake up the whole house. Sally can wait. She knows
sorry, Aaron.
too late.
We're going to have to edit that out. It took up too much time. Here's the thing.
Aaron, we are no longer going to admit you into the men's chorus for your senior year after that.
Speaking of choruses, Russell, though, this was voted by NME, the British magazine, as number 1 on the 50 most explosive choruses of all time.
Oh,
and guys,
agree.
That's number 1.
When I see a pre-made list, I got to make that my list.
Getting in
It's
on
a
it.
pretty explosive chorus.
That is an explosive chorus. Now, I went through the explosive choruses according to NME, and I did not pick any songs that we've already done. Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Very Russell of you. Yeah.
I just looked at the top 18, and I also didn't pick songs that I didn't care about. Coming in at 18, tell me if you think, and I tried to put a little
Was the
bit.
Scat Man on that list or not?
Boom, bada, boom.
I'm trying to think.
I'm the Scat
Boom, bada,
Man.
You know who was in one of the most explosive choruses of all time?
Who's that?
The Big Bopper. I would say that was one of the more explosive.
I don't know. I haven't read the FAA report on that one. I'm not sure.
Oh, no. I'm not going to.
Aaron.
Guys, and I just want to point out, do you see the willpower I have? Not having him call. Am I strong? Am I a hero? Yes, I am actually. Hey, Sully, lick my balls. I'm a hero now. I'm hero now. Sully, not the right movie, but Sully.
Rob, are we doing these in order, or did you do them in alphabetical order the way they should be?
Number 18. I put a little bit of the pre-chorus or a little bit of the bridge in here. Tell me what you think. Is this an explosive chorus for you?
Let's hear it.
Oh, shit.
Yes, this is great.
Want to dance with somebody? Whitney Houston.
Yep.
Perfect song.
Oh, perfect song.
I'm just going to say, how have we not heard Whitney yet? How is that possible?
I'm telling you, yes.
But number 12, most explosive chorus is Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden.
This is
Yes.
Matt, you're shaking your head?
no, this is great.
Yeah, it fucking rocks. Next up at number 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
this explodes.
Yes.
Listen, here it comes.
This is like if you've been drinking a lot of Gatorades, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Do you think,
Explosive.
are there Division III schools that are trying to do like the Virginia Tech entrances with this music? There's got to be, right? Somebody where there's
Some
like
of it
50
is,
people
right?
on a Saturday and they're like pumping up like,
I think it's kind of a similar situation like when colleges are stealing Jump Around from Man City, right?
that. Yes. I would say that's exactly the same. Russell, that's a great point. God, you guys are so smart today. Check us out.
That's funny shit right
I can't, Oasis can't be the top on this list.
I'm going to play it again. We'll see what you think. Aaron,
there. You guys know my theory on Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi, the greatest jukebox or bar band ever. If Bon Jovi comes on and you're at a bar, everyone's going to be singing with that song.
Yep.
Everyone's in.
next up, guys, another Brit pop. This is one of the few that starts with it.
Oh, yes. Right. Yeah, this will blow the doors off, right?
Pretty simple to sing. That's a chorus right there. At number 5, okay? British band. Rolling Stones with I Can't Get No, parentheses, Satisfaction. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's a good chorus. Does it explode, though?
I don't think it's as explosive, though.
No way. Not like...
That's like you've had one pineapple truly. That's not explosive enough.
Now, of course, in my many years in the St. Olaf Choir, I, of course, learned what a chorus was. I have to admit, I had to look it up for this song. And it turns out it's right coming up right here. Daft Punk, Niles Rodgers.
This is ridiculous. It's a great chorus. There's nothing explosive about it.
No, it's a very fun song, but I wouldn't call it explosive at all.
Wow.
Like,
Flawed.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, enemy, you're on notice, okay? You're about to be our enemy. And last, at number 2...
Maybe it's just the version of that we're listening to. It's not clean and it's not pumped up.
It's just hard to top. I want to dance with somebody and living on a prayer. Like, and Enter Sandman, like those three have to be the top 3.
Okay. So can I just say something to you guys real quick? And you promise not to be mad at me? Promise. You promise not to be mad?
Do you have another list of crash test dummies?
I wish I did. You guys know how I was on way on vacation?
Yeah.
My mouse just ran out of batteries and I can't use it when I'm charging it. Look at this. Look at this awesome design. And I can't do anything on the show without my mouse.
Wait.
So wait a minute.
So we just keep talking, right?
Wait a minute. You know what?
You got
I
a
can still use
trackpad
my
on that
buttons.
bad boy.
Yeah.
That was the top 5 list for sure.
That was an awesome list.
That was at least
Hey,
top 2 list of today.
So, well, let's go back here, right?
pretty explosive.
Let's just see. Do we think this is better than any of those ones?
I would say the Bon
right in the
Jovi
middle.
song, I think, is the one that rivals it.
Yeah.
This is up there. God, you can hear how fucking loud this is too compared to those other songs. For real. It's a pretty good
Rob,
chorus.
I'm so pumped you educated me on the volume thing. That makes complete sense in my head now why I was not enjoying it while listening in my car.
Totally. Next up, Hey Now. Sorry, Russell, you gave me a compliment. I was distracted. Thank you so much. That's what I meant to say.
Do we think any of the remasters, because there's a remastered deluxe edition, but then you end up with 40 tracks. Do we think that makes a difference? I don't understand.
I think this
enough
is
to
so
know.
far back. I think this is so far back in the process. I don't know if you can unmask. Because that's why we see so many masters in the 90s, is they just literally made everything louder. If you look at like every remaster, they're all louder when they're remastered in the 90s.
Wow.
And now it doesn't matter because Spotify literally caps the loudness. So
Spotify,
you can't make it too
Spotify
loud.
doesn't have a high def option, right? Like other streaming sources do. So we're all listening to music in different ways.
Yeah, that's true. Swamp Song. Now, this is the song they came out to at that big concert. This was like their opening song. I was like, if I went to a concert and they opened with this, I'd be so mad.
It's also very, very Beatlesy.
It's from the music. It's from the music standpoint. Yeah.
But this is like while they're walking out.
Yeah.
This is like when Metallica does the Good, the Bad, the
I can see why they
right?
started
like, this
with
is
this.
the opening
Yeah.
song. It's just like a
Okay, Russell, I was
prequel.
trying to make fun. But I will say, Aaron said he wanted more instrumentals, and we got one. I kind of, every time this one came on, it's only 40 seconds. I kind of dug it. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I like
enjoy
this
one.
Some might say this was the first single off this album.
Hey,
to
Rob,
show how
I think you
stupid
missed
people
a
are.
song. I think you missed one.
What did I miss?
Stop. Missed one. Give it to me, baby. And all the girlies say he's pretty fly for a white guy, dude.
I forgot. That was what Russell used to get Offspring and Oasis confused.
Oh,
And now he's in a way different
Whoa.
place. Now he is a music expert because of our podcast.
that I had forgotten about that.
His
Jesus
life is all
Christ.
changed.
It's kind of like the Rembrandts and the Replacements. I mean,
That's true.
I get it. I get why you get them confused.
I get
Russell.
it. Some might say this is the first single off this album, which just shows how fucking stupid people are who do albums. Why would you make this the first single? Idiot.
Right when you've got Wonderwall and Don't Look Back.
It's crazy. You would just hear Wonderwall and be like, oh, that's one of the greatest songs of all time. Like,
I was going to ask when I was listening to the album, there has to be a mistake when you've got Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. Neither of them are the opening track, right?
You don't start out with a soft song. They're both softer songs. You don't start out with a softer song. You end with Champagne Super, perfect ending, right?
The
Like,
Champagne
that's
Supernova is a
perfect.
perfect ending.
so that
I agree.
you know.
Cast No Shadow.
This song is a skipper for me.
This is this is his homage to the lead singer of the Verve. Verve.
Are you serious?
Not to be confused with when you're describing how the verb feels, because that's an adverb.
Hey, this is for real? This is for real and homage to the lead singer of the Verve?
Yeah. No,
Because it
I made
sounds
up
like
that
the
very
Verve.
boring
I mean,
fact.
It sounds like the Verve.
Totally.
Oh, man.
Wait, is there a band called The Verve and a band called The Verve Pipe?
Yes. The Verve Pipe did Freshman. The Verve did Bittersweet Symphony.
Wow.
What?
Very
Wow.
different bands.
What?
And what about El Verve's Costello? Guys, sometimes you come in with a perfect capper on a joke, and that was one of those examples. Kobe from deep nailed it.
Hat out of hat.
And guess what? The second hat was also good. She's electric. This is people compare this to kind of a John Lennon Yoko sound. I like this one.
Kind of a little bop, head bopper, right?
This is why they get the Brit pop. You know, you just try to put him something else, and then you hear this song, and you're like, okay, well, you're a Brit pop band.
Because you could hear this in the background when you hear somebody say like, "Do I make you randy, baby? Yeah. Are you horny, baby? Yeah." By the way, a movie not to try to show your kids Austin Powers does not hold up.
Why not?
I don't want to be watching stuff with my kids where everybody's talking about how horny they are all the time. Like, it's a lot. That's one of his main things is how horny he is.
It's a normal male thing.
I listened to the Verve, baby. Yeah. Okay, I tried to. Guys, you know what? That one getting edited out. Clank. Off the rim. Okay.
Try it again with saying the Verve Pipe instead of the Verve and see if it works.
I listened to the Verve Pipe, baby. Yeah. And that was a 3-pointer. I just won the MIAC championship. Morning Glory. Now listen to this guitar riff. I want to have you guys listen to something. You hear that guitar in the back?
Yeah.
People pointed out that sure does sound a lot like a song that came out almost 20 years before. REM, the one I love.
Oh.
It's exactly the same. Listen to this guitar again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's literally the exact same riff.
Well, they're not shy about quoting other bands. They quote Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds at the end of one of these tracks. They literally lift Beatles lyrics. about Tomorrow Never Knows. They lift, Starting a Revolution from my bed is about John and Yoko. Like, they're not shy about borrowing stuff, so it's not surprising.
I noticed too that it went like this, do 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 do. So I think that they're actually fine.
You're gonna get a spanking for that, Rob, next week.
Untitled instrumental Swamp Song Part 2.
Oh, there's a second part of the Swamp Song.
This part I was like, this is pretentious.
I just want to we skipped over Morning Glory. That is maybe the best song on the. No, you played it, but we kind of skipped past it because we got to get Rosie's buddies here. But this, their two best songs are ballads, right? And I think they didn't want to be a ballad band, and so this is probably like their best non-ballad song, if that's a thing,
But I love that about them. I love this persona of like badass rock dudes who go out and drink 1,000 beers and have sex with about all the women. Break laws, and then like they cannot help but mostly write beautiful melodies. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I love that about them.
And I did used to think that their deal was like kayfabe, right? I used to think it was like, they're just getting. They haven't performed together since 2009.
It's real.
Bazillions of dollars, and they will at some point.
They probably get paid every time they play that song at Man United games, right? They probably get a royalty every time it gets played at those soccer games.
Whoever the guitar player, he's at every game, and he's he's a big fan. He's good.
I'm a big soccer fan that we used to be in this band Offspring.
I love the Verve Pipe. Tell Jimmy, I'm trying to see. Listen, you just sat in front of my domestic partner. She's trying to see. Am I going to switch with her? No, listen, I got the eye. I got to get out so she can go to the bathroom. I think that was the logic. The sixth and final single, Champagne Supernova.
6 singles off this album, though.
They performed this at the MTV Music Video Awards, or Music Awards, and one of the brothers hit the other one with a tambourine, which I thought was very funny because of the sound it would make.
Matt, you said this. I think this is an all-time top 3 closing song for an album. For the band that they are, it fits perfectly here at the end. You couldn't ask for more at the end, could you?
This is a banger.
No, and I'm drawing an absolute blank. What's the final song on Wildflowers by Tom Petty?
I think The Clash maybe had a song. It was Train in Vain or something that was at the end.
That was one they just stuck on. That wasn't, they hadn't planned that. I mean, we know Matt doesn't like it, but Purple Rain, like that's there. That's.
Oh yeah. I mean, right. That's actually the best parallel, I think.
This is a great ending song.
It's such a good song. Even if you didn't love the album, it makes you want to go start it over again.
Yes, yeah, because
you listen to that song, you're like, I need to run that. I need to flip it over. I need to run it back.
Right? 100% right.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is the ending to Wildflower, which again, top 5 album of all time for me. We'll get to it in the 200s or something like that. There's a great documentary if you're flying Delta right now about Tom Petty making this album.
You guys saw my fucking flight I had yesterday, didn't you?
I couldn't see the screen. I don't know. Maybe you didn't take the right picture. You didn't have a video screen or something.
No screens. And the Wi-Fi was down.
Flying Sun Country.
Wait, that's only like a 2-hour flight. You don't need a screen on flight that short.
Rosie doesn't like this song though because it's got violins in it. So might as well shut it off.
That makes sense. Well, you know what? We better get right to the rating system. And that was the fucking wrong clip, you piece of shit,
Russell,
Rob.
You're correct. Ending with like awesome ballads that you end out and you're just like, God, that was a great album. That's what Champagne Supernova was. So.
Yeah.
Good call.
And it brings you mentioned the ballads, it brings you back to the 2 songs early in the album that you loved.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, you're like, this is what's great about this album.
Just like the albums, we always finish strong with this bit, our strongest bit of the show. It's the rating system. We are looking at this album at 157 on the list.
Hey, Rob, but it's not our longest bit, is it?
How many bits does it take?
Duration or length.
How many bits in a byte? Here's the thing. We have... Just edit that shit out. Fuck. It's supposed to be our strongest part.
Rob, if you keep working it for a while, it will get strong enough to where it needs to be.
It'll be long enough too.
Progressive overload is the thing. It's the science.
It's like foreskin. You can hang weights on it to have it come back stronger than ever.
God.
Rosie, are your friends there yet? Did they show up?
No, we got time actually.
Dang it. Tell them to hurry up so we get done with this podcast.
Just got their rental car. So if you need to luxuriate, Rob, you can go ahead.
Oh, this is sweet. Okay. a process that bafflingly, man, you rent a lot of cars, right? What is it about fucking renting a car that takes so goddamn long? You have my name. The fucking car is right there. Just give me the fucking keys and let me go.
You have to you sign up for their rewards program, whatever. Like, I forget, National, that's the brand I use.
Yeah.
You walk right out, you
Emerald
grab a
Club.
car and you go. It's the
Emerald
greatest
Club.
thing. But waiting in line is the worst.
Are you sure you're not just stealing cars?
One-time renter, just join the club so you can get in there and just walk out and go.
157 on the list. Okay. And of course, that's what we care about. Oasis, a band that a lot of us loved growing up. Okay. Maybe if you were just sitting in your basement, okay, watching Wilson Phillip replays.
Watching the crying video. Jerking it to Kabuki Steven Tyler. Whatever it took.
It's so weird. That video part is so weird. I've been saying it again. Listen. Okay. Is this a rolling well toned? Okay. That would be the perfect album right here at 157, slots right in. It's our first Britpop album. Is this a rolling boned? It should have been higher up on the list. Listen, this is a album that has a lot of hit songs. I mean, there's more good songs in this album than a lot of albums we've listened to lately. Or is this a rolling groan? Okay, everybody thought Oasis was a huge deal when we were younger. I think mostly because they were mad at each other all the time. And now, I don't know. Do you still hear people who are like, I just got to play my Oasis. I got to hear my Oasis. Hey, I'm at the gym. Turn on Oasis. I don't know. Is it rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling grown? Russell, what do you think?
Guys, at first I was really confused because, like I said, it was listening to the car and I couldn't listen to it. It seemed all jumbled up to me. I couldn't make out the instruments. And Rob, you talking about the volume thing makes perfect sense in my head now. It's super cool, but I have to say, you guys know me. What do I love? Commercial hits. This has got Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova. You put those three songs on an album, it has to be rated in the top 150 or so. So for me, this has to be rolling well-toned. You can't put those three songs on an album and say it's too high on the list.
Matt, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan? What's the story of Morning Glory?
Rolling Bone, this is at least a top 100 for me. Personally, it's probably like a top 25 type of album. So we've talked about it enough. I'm going to say Rolling Bone. This should be way higher on the list for me.
Do you think this album is hurt by a terrible name? What's the story of Morning Glory?
Oh, I think that's a fantastic name.
Yeah, right. I think it's great.
Yeah, me too.
It rolls. I mean, it's way better. I mean, like, at least
you don't like it, Rob?
I was trying to trick you guys. Not especially.
It's a long-ish name. Like, it's a longer name than
it just
stuff like Blue or What's Going On. Or
I mean, guys, Oasis is pretentious, right? Can we agree to that? They're a pretentious band. Like and that's part of their appeal.
Yes.
That's a pretentious ass title. Like,
it's true.
A big long ass title. I don't know.
No, you're right.
It's memorable, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Although I almost forgot.
I don't know. I don't. This one didn't. It's one I had to look up more than once. So
Aaron, you didn't let me go. Aaron, rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan. What do you think of Aaron? This song. What's the story?
Morning
Glory.
Glory.
I was going to interrupt you, but realized it didn't make sense.
I don't like this album being ahead of, as I said, stuff like 10. Again, we mentioned Whitney by Whitney Houston, still not on the list. So relative to albums we haven't heard yet, I don't think it's as good, but it is better than some stuff we've already heard. And Russell's right. The hits are amazing. So I'm just going to give it a rolling well-toned.
But it is more explosive than Whitney, according to NME.
Disagree.
Yeah, it's the number one. Guys, this gets unfortunately, you're all incorrect.
Again.
Okay, I hate to say that. I'm going to try to hurry this up. Okay. This gets a rolling 2 off phone.
2 off phone?
We've heard these songs too often. How can you judge it? This is like judging Happy Birthday. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if it really, like, it just exists.
Where does Wonderwall stand? Yeah, that's true.
This is just the way it is. Like, it's, you cannot say where this should belong, because for those of us who had CDs that just stuck in the car or in the friend's car, they're on a whole different like plane of existence. Next up,
it's like this album exists because music exists, right? Like what else would there be?
Next up, do you guys know my mom had a rifle when I was growing up?
How are you still alive?
The only problem, Jesus Christ, Aaron, I'm trying to make a joke. I've already said this is the best part of the show.
I'm trying to engage with your jokes. I'm trying to provide some repartee.
What? Are you serious? That's your excuse? Is that you're trying to make it better by saying that? Where do you think I'm going to go with that?
I don't know. You opened the door with your mom had a gun, so I don't know. Where are you?
Excuse me. No, I said the wording is important. My mom had a rifle growing up. She kept covering it in glue. She always has denied it, but I'm sticking to my guns. Sticking to my guns. Okay, and that was worth yelling at Aaron at. That was good.
Sticking to your guns.
We've got Mama.
There's a great.
We got
PJ
Mama
Morton
Gun
song
by
called
Erykah
Stick to My Guns.
Badu. Mama Gun by Erykah Badu. Are you guys listening to me?
We'll just all keep talking. It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
So Aquarians
You
in
guys
the
look up
mix.
the Offspring. Offspring Americana has Pretty Fly for a White Guy. The kids aren't all right. She's got issues. Walla Walla. Why don't you get a job? Come on. Let's get the Offspring on this
I
list.
hate the Offspring.
I'm almost positive. Isn't the Offspring another janitor-led band? I think it might be. I think it's our second janitor-led band is the Offspring. We're going to see when we get to that album.
I don't know if you guys, if you've been following sports lately, but I saw that Messi started playing for the Miami soccer team. And
He's crushing everyone.
yeah, they should just killing it, goals all the time and everything. They should probably get like a new goal song. Like, what was that song we were listening to earlier, Matt? Wonderwall?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if like an American
It'd be
soccer
kind of
team
weird.
would've
Isn't it?
done
I mean, it'd be
that.
kind of weird though to have a European song come over to the States. Like, he should have an Argentinian song. I mean, we should have like a replacement song or something, for a Minnesota team.
I'm just saying it would be nice if the Major League Soccer would use that song.
Somewhere in the U.S., right?
Can you imagine running out at St. Olaf basketball hearing that banger? Hey, there's a 49.9% chance we're going to win this game.
He's like the Jeff Fisher of the MIAC. Oh,
right?
God.
Just good enough. Never causes problems. Keep him around.
The Jeff Fisher of the MIAC. Can you imagine if somebody called you that?
The Jeff Fisher of anything, right? Like if you're the Jeff Fisher of your own house, like it's not good. Yeah.